35-year-old Bobby Caldwell is on with 911.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is Robert Caldwell.
He says he's being chased by another car.
Okay, and who is this? Who's the guy?
His name's Sterling Roberts. He's my ex-wife's boyfriend, and they just lost full custody of all our kids.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to meet with you, and then we'll get a hold of him later.
Well, I kind of don't want him to get away because I don't want him to...
Sir, that's not for you to worry about. That's for the police to worry about.
I'm a little shooken up.
I go back to the Jamestown Police Department. We'll have a deputy meet you there, okay?
Okay, thank you. I'm going to call my wife and have her get my kids out of my house.
Okay, sounds good.
When he called you and said, get out of the house, were you frantic?
Oh, yeah, my heart has never raced so fast. I don't know that I even buckled the kids properly in their car seats. It scared me.
Thankfully, everyone is okay. Bobby files a police report, and the family tries to put the terrifying episode behind them.
Did you think after this incident everything was okay, safe now?
I did.
But just 10 days later, around 6 p.m., that peace would be destroyed forever.
Tell me about that day that your husband took the kids to counseling.
He just texted me to tell me he was going to be bringing the kids home to me and he was going to go to the gym.
The counseling session ends, and as Bobby and his 3 boys leave the therapist's office and walk mere steps outside, someone approaches them. Bobby Caldwell is shot multiple times right in front of his young kids. The horrified children scatter. Jacob and Michael run back inside, and Robert Jr. runs to the nearby Bob Evans restaurant.
I could see where Bobby was on my phone from like Find Your Friends. And about 6:20, I looked to see where he was because he should have been home by then. And my mom called me and told me that my aunt had went to Bob Evans to get food and she couldn't. There was a shooting, and I just instantly knew it was Bobby because it showed that he was still there.
Candace rushes to the scene, past the caution tape, and up to a distraught Robert Jr. sitting in the back of a police cruiser.
I asked Robert, was that your dad? And he said, yeah, and I just said, is he dead? Is he dead? And Robert said, I don't know.
Sadly, Bobby Caldwell is dead at the scene.
Somebody shot my son many, 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 many times.
In front of the children?
In front of the children.
I can't imagine anything more horrific.
He was a beautiful person. He didn't deserve that at all. He was just taking his kids to counseling. He was trying to help them.
Bobby's family says they know exactly who the trigger man is. The same person who had been chasing Bobby just days before.
We knew it was Sterling.
Detectives tracked down surveillance video of the parking lot, showing what many believe is Sterling Roberts near the scene around the time of the shooting.
And we could tell it was him.
And in addition to the surveillance video, cops have witnesses, but would they be reliable?
There are 3 witnesses who could finger him.
Right.
So the boys clearly knew who Sterling was.
Absolutely.
And did the boys ever say anything to you?
No. When I first saw Robert, I did ask him who, and he just said he didn't know.
2 days later, Sterling Roberts is named a suspect in Bobby's murder. But now cops can't find him. He's on the run. Turns out Roberts is no stranger to law enforcement. He has an extensive rap sheet and even has done time in prison. 48 hours later, and almost 500 miles away in Spartanburg, South Carolina, cops catch up with Sterling Roberts and charge him with Bobby's murder.
Why would he want to kill your husband?
I believe because somebody told him to.
And who would that be?
Bobby's ex-wife.
Bobby's ex-wife and the mother of their 3 boys, Tawny Caldwell. 2 days later, Bobby's grief-stricken family buries him at a private funeral. Then later that night, another tragedy was about to unfold.
Robert and Michael went and played video games, and Jacob said, do you mind if I watch a movie downstairs? And I said, no, go ahead.
Before going to bed, Sally, who now has temporary custody of the boys, checks on them. She sees Robert Jr. and Michael still playing video games. but she can't find Jacob anywhere.
Then it just hit me like he's gone. This all happened in minutes. I figured out he had gone through a window.
In an unbelievable turn, 14-year-old Jacob Caldwell, a witness to his father's murder, has disappeared.
We called the police, and we thought that he'd be found really quick.
We did a search. We actually were able to pick him up on video at the local Walmart parking lot where he was walking back and forth. In front of the store, body language indicated he was perhaps looking for someone or waiting for someone to pick him up. Then suddenly he walked out into the parking lot out of the view of the camera.
And that's the last anyone saw of Jacob.
Yeah.
Police are working overtime, desperately looking for Jacob and diligently investigating his father's heinous murder. Then 6 months later, a major break. Not one, but 5 more arrests in the killing. Bobby's ex-wife, Tawny Caldwell, is charged with murder and 5 other counts. Her mother, Chandra Harmon, is charged with tampering with a witness by intimidation. Her stepfather, James Harmon, and Sterling Roberts' 2 brothers, Chance Deacon and Christopher Roberts, all charged with aiding and abetting.
I mean, it seems, based on the indictments, that it was a family-hatched plot to kill your son.
It appears that way.
Do you have any theories on why they would want to kill your son?
Well, he got custody, was being buried a month later, so I think that seems to be pretty obvious with that.
Bobby's sister, Katie Swift, believes there may have been a conspiracy to kill her brother, but there was one calling the shots: her ex-sister-in-law, Tawny Caldwell.
You know, they're not convicted yet, but I do believe that she was the mastermind behind it. I think that she's a sociopath.
Crime Watch Daily reached out to Tawny's attorney, John Ryan, for a comment. A representative responded, saying the investigation is just starting and Mr. Ryan may be able to make a statement at a later date.
These are incredibly serious charges. How could a mother condone the killing of a father in front of the children? You can't undo that in their minds.
Absolutely. We have the same question. The fact that she would put her children in harm's way. To send your kid to a shootout is insanity. To actually possibly harm one of your own children just to get Bobby out of the picture. It's unthinkable.
Jacob Caldwell has now been missing for 7 months.
How does a young person like this just disappear?
There's really 2 ways that this could go. He's either being hidden or he's harmed in some way. And both are bad.
What do you think happened to him?
Well, I can only speculate. I can say that everyone in my family has cooperated with the police. Jacob's mother, Jacob's other grandmother, Jacob's aunt, and Jacob's cousin. Those are 4 people that we know the police have tried to interview and talk to. None of them have cooperated with the police. But I think he left and most likely is with that family, based on the fact that they're not showing any concern for his whereabouts.
If Jacob were truly missing in their eyes, they'd be in a panic trying to find him.
They would be in a panic. Absolutely. They've shown no panic.
So you then infer from this that they likely know where he is?
Yes, I believe that.
Crime Watch Daily reached out to Tawny's family regarding these allegations. They declined to comment. Until the day Jacob is found and Bobby gets justice, all Sally can do is push through with love as she continues to care for her other 2 grandsons.
I don't know how to put this, but you've lost your son and you don't know where your grandson is. And I don't know how you juggle the pain and grief of both those parallel situations.
Well, I can tell you I wake up every morning and I have a thought and a question. My first thought is, oh my God, Bobby's gone. How am I going to live without him? And then I have a question, and where's Jacob? And then I just get up and try to make it through the day because I have these 2 children living with us, so we have to go on. And that's what Bobby would want. And we want justice for him, and we want Jacob to come home.
The FBI is now offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the location of Jacob Caldwell. If you know anything about his disappearance, you're asked to call the FBI field office in Cincinnati. That number is 513-421-4310, or you can submit a tip anonymously at crimewatchdaily.com. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.